On warm moonlit nights when most of the world is fast asleep, a tiny shadow glides across the sky. Many people hear the words vampire bat and think of monsters in scary stories. But the real animals? Their story isn't scary at all. It's a story about friendship in the dark. Deep inside a rocky cave, hundreds of tiny vampire bats hang side by side, waiting for night to begin. Among them is one small bat we'll follow tonight, a curious youngster just learning the rules of the dark. He's excited, a little nervous, and very, very hungry. Around him, older bats stretch their wings, groom their fur, and chatter softly, like neighbours getting ready for a busy day at work. Soon they'll all launch into the night to find a meal of blood. But in this colony, no one hunts truly alone. At last, the moment arrives. With a rustle of leathery wings, the colony bursts out of the cave like a tiny storm of shadows. Our young bat follows the others into the cool night air, using his super hearing to map the world in sound instead of light. Each high-pitched call he makes bounces off trees, rocks, and animals below, painting an invisible picture in his mind. Older bats zigzag low over sleeping cows, gently landing to take a small sip of blood without waking them. But for our little flyer, things aren't going so well. He searches and keeps coming up empty. After hours of flying, the night begins to fade. One by one, the bats turn back toward their cave, bellies full and wings tired. Our young bat, though, is exhausted and still empty. By the time he reaches the rocky entrance, he hasn't had a single successful sip. In a world where everyone hunts alone, this might be the end of his story. A hungry bat can't go too many nights without eating. But inside this cave, something remarkable happens instead. A close friend who found plenty of blood crawls over and gently presses her mouth to his. She shares some of her precious meal, mouth to mouth, so that he can live to try again tomorrow night. For a long time, people didn't realize vampire bats were capable of this kind of kindness. They seemed like lonely, spooky hunters of the night. Then, scientists watching colonies closely noticed a pattern. Bats that shared blood with hungry friends were more likely to be helped when they were unlucky later on. It wasn't random charity, it was a careful kind of trust, built over many nights of remembering who had helped before. Bats who were generous often received help in return. Bats who refused to share, on the other hand, couldn't count on others when they needed it most. In this way, a cave full of tiny animals with sharp teeth becomes a community, held together by cooperation and memory. So the next time you hear the words vampire bat, you can think of more than just fangs in the dark. You can remember a hungry youngster saved by a friend and a cave full of tiny hearts depending on one another. In their own quiet way, these bats show us that sharing what we have can keep a whole community alive. If you enjoyed this nighttime adventure, don't forget to subscribe to KidFable for more stories from the wild. Whether we have wings or not, none of us truly makes it through the night alone.